it going, everybody? So we have a fun review today as we're talking Together. Ever since Together premiered way back in the beginning of the year at the Sundance Film Festival, receiving glowing praise, not just from there, but at the other different festivals that it's made the rounds at, I cannot wait to see what this movie is all about. Though there have been times in the past where films have made the rounds across festivals and then I ended up not understanding the hype. Years into their relationship, Tim and Millie find themselves at a crossroads as they move to the country. With tensions already flaring, an encounter with an unnatural force threatens to corrupt their lives, their love, and their flesh. Now that I've seen Together, I definitely can understand why there's so much glowing praise around it as a horror fan. Where Together excels the most for me is the unsettling tone once the film kicks into full gear. At a certain point in the film, this goes from your usual dysfunctional relationship into nasty body horror-filled madness that I must admit it creeped me out a little bit more than I anticipated. In recent years, in examples like The Substance and Evil Dead Rise, it seems like we're seeing more and more examples of mainstream body horror returning. Maybe it's an odd thing to say that I had a blast with both of those films and Together's body horror, but the visual imagery evoked throughout Together that this couple has to endure, it's unsettling and terrifying in the best of ways. The first half of Together specifically has multiple effective bloody sequences that creeped me out, and as somebody who generally is not a huge fan of jump scares in horror, there's a handful of them in this film that actually got me, and I would say that they're effective and pretty well earned compared to a lot of the usual cheap jump scares that you're accustomed to in modern horror. Something else I really have to commend about Together is the special effects work in general, whether that be practical or just visual effects. There is this nice blend of practical effects with visual effects, and the combined efforts of both create this creepy, surreal atmosphere. Now, I can't exactly say this is a surprise or anything, given the fact that these two are actually married in real life, but Alison, Brie, and Dave Franco work very well together. Both of them are great here. Immediately, the chemistry is felt between them, and you understand their relationship, all of the good and bad that comes with it. The all-around messiness of this semi-toxic relationship, the codependency, those elements fuel a very fascinating narrative through line. The deeper, more twisted and violent the story gets when supernatural elements are introduced, turning the film into this body horror nightmare. Essentially, like you've seen in some of the promotion material, literally bonding them together. And those sequences are some of the major highlights because they are incredibly grotesque. Apart from all of the straight up horror in Together, I was kind of surprised that the movie ended up having a pretty nice sense of humor. It's not overly jokey or anything, but there's tonal shifts where we're alternating between these bloody, horrific moments, and then every so often there's some dark sense of humor that got a laugh out of me. That's one of those elements I do think won't work for everybody, because there's certainly some people that will think that cuts some of the tension and the horror. The underlying commentary in Together, it's very straightforward. Much of the messaging is this exploration, diving into broken relationships, codependency, and the effort in trying to fix them. Still, nevertheless, the journey that we go on with these two is engaging enough, although some of the big swings, especially in the third act, I wouldn't necessarily say I loved all of them, the ending in particular. I wouldn't necessarily say I disliked the ending, but where they take the story in the conclusion and the final shots, it left me all around feeling pretty mixed. All around, Together is a thrilling experience that definitely got under my skin with its themes and intense body horror throughout. It's definitely a wild experience that I highly recommend. I wouldn't necessarily say bring your significant other to watch it. It's definitely not a great date night movie. Horror continues to kill it in my opinion these last few years, especially Neon as a distributor, because not only do they continue to get these amazing horror films like Longlegs, they also do a phenomenal job marketing the movies. I don't know if you've seen any of the marketing surrounding Together, but it's been brutal but also hilarious at the exact same time. Once you get a chance to check out Together in theaters, make sure you share your thoughts down below. What'd you think of the film? Did you like the film? Did you not like the film? Thank you guys. As always, share out videos. I always do appreciate it. Be sure to like on the video and also subscribe to the channel to update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.